Hi everyone, today's recipe is Cao Lầu. It's a regional Vietnamese noodle dish that can only be found in the town of Hội An. It's an ancient town that belongs to Quảng Nam province of central Vietnam. As a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Hội An is one of the most visited tourist destinations in Vietnam. Even though you might see more tourists than locals here, the town is really well preserved and organized. In the 17th century, Hội An was a trading port and also a center of Japanese trading activity. This famous Hội An Bridge was built by the Japanese. It has a Buddhist pagoda attached to one side, and therefore it's called Chùa Cầu in Vietnamese. And the noodle dish that I'm cooking today is believed to be derived from the Japanese soba noodles. In Hội An, you can easily find a local food store selling Cao Lầu at street side like this. It's a wonderful noodle dish and I'm very happy to share with you the recipe today. So let's begin. Today I'm using 500 grams of pork. You can either use pork shoulder or pork belly. Just make sure that it has some fat on it so that it won't be too dry. For the marinade, we're gonna need lots of garlic, 6 to 7 cloves, grind finely in a mortar and pestle. You can also mince it, but pounding can really bring out the aroma in the garlic. In a large mixing bowl, add in 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, the garlic paste that we just powdered, a teaspoon of 5 spice powder. It's called Ngũ Vị Hương and you can buy these small packages at Asian store. Also add half a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of sugar and a teaspoon of chicken or pork stock. In central Vietnam, people don't use much sugar in cooking, so sugar is just optional. Also add in some pepper and stir well. Then we're gonna rub this marinade on the pork. Make sure that the pork is well coated with the sauce. You can also put everything in a plastic bag and shake well. Then cover and let it marinate for at least 30 minutes or overnight in the fridge. To make the broth, boil the pork bones for 10 minutes, then dump out the whole pot. Wash the pot clean and rinse the bone well under warm water. Transfer the bones back to the pot, fill with water, add 1 pea onion and some salt. Cook under medium-low heat, uncovered for 1 hour. After an hour marinating, I scrape off the garlic on the surface of the pork, add some vegetable oil in the pan, and sear the pork until it's golden brown on both sides. You want to use a generous amount of oil for this step to avoid splashing. After finished searing, you can remove the excess oil and burnt garlic if any. After that, add in the marinade and a few tablespoons of the pork broth. Simmer on low heat for about 30 to 45 minutes until the pork is completely cooked. Flip the pork every 10 minutes so that it's well coated in the sauce. This is Central style thịt xá xíu or char siu pork. My mom makes this every time for New Year and it smells just absolutely amazing. You can also cover so it can cook faster. If you taste the sauce now, it could be really salty, but don't worry, we're gonna dilute it later. Okay, so after simmering for 45 minutes, I remove the pork, let it cool, and combine the pork broth with the sauce. Then slice the char siu pork into very thin slices. If it tastes a little salty now, it's okay because we're gonna eat it with a lot of vegetables and noodles. We're gonna serve this with a lot of fresh greens, lettuce, bean sprouts, and many kinds of Vietnamese herbs. I'm gonna harvest some of the green sprouts that I have here in my balcony. It took me only a week to grow them this big, but I heard that it's 5 times more nutritious than normal vegetables, so it's really good. Other than that, I also have bean sprouts, which I will blanch in hot water for about 30 seconds. I also have perilla leaves, cilantro, some lettuce, which I have shredded into thin strips, some mint, the green sprouts from my balcony, and this is a very special basil called lemon basil. It's very popular in central Vietnam. It looks very similar to the Asian Thai basil, just that the stem is in light green color rather than purple. For the noodles, we need a brown, thick type of noodles called cao lầu noodles, of course. I had to hand carry it here all the way from Hoi An. It's almost impossible to get hold of this outside Hoi An, so you can substitute with the normal Japanese soba noodles. If you walk around Hoi An, you can see people sun-dry the noodles on the street like this. The square pieces are made also from the same ingredients, but they will be deep fried to make the cracker toppings for our noodles. Okay, so we will cook the noodles in a pot of boiling water for about 15 minutes until they are soft. Then drain and rinse under warm water to remove the outside starch so that they won't stick to each other. These noodles have very unique taste and texture. It's a little bit chewy and crunchy at the same time. I don't really know how to describe it, but definitely very special. To assemble the dish, fill the bowl half full with fresh greens, then top up with the noodles and the char siu pork. Then drizzle just 1.5 layers of the sauce over it. The sauce shouldn't be too hot, otherwise it will cook the fresh greens, which is not what we want. Then top up with the crackers, a lime wedge, and some sweet chili sauce. You can either deep fry the crackers or microwave for 1 minute. Squeeze in some lime juice and stir really well before eating. As you can see, the sauce is really minimum, so it should taste a little saltier than the normal broth for other noodle soup dishes. But after combining with the noodles and the fresh vegetables, it's just nice. Let me give it a try. It's just so good. I hope you like it, and please also check out my Vietnamese noodle playlist. I make many kinds of Vietnamese noodle dishes there. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.